Welcome to another Harry's Hobbies video. And yes, I'm still working on the Boss Scale Models Marshall's Boat Dock diorama. And in this particular video, I'm going to be installing the LED. Now in front of me, this is the building. And I'll be installing the LED into the interior location right in here. But we start rather simply. We have the LED, which is right here. Believe it or not, there is a light in my fingers. Now I get my LEDs from Lighthouse LEDs, and it's online. They have really good shipping. I haven't waited more than a week for any LEDs that I've ordered from them. Now the PICO LEDs are about the size of a pinhead, probably a little bit smaller than that. And the first thing you want to do is you want to test it to make sure that it's going to work properly before you go any further. And to do that, I just simply use one of the rechargeable batteries from an old Black & Decker drill that I've got that I keep charged up. And we just tap into the positive side. And then I take the negative cord wire and touch it to the negative side. And hopefully we'll have a light that'll work. And you can see, I'll get it to flash a few times so you can see it. And this one is working. Now, throughout the installation of an LED, and I can't stress this enough, is to test and retest as you go along with your construction of your model, because you never know when you're going to snag a wire or something like that. Snag it and break the wire, cut a wire, and you don't want to be tearing apart 2/3 of what you've done. Now I like to use hot glue on a low setting to set these in place, and the hot glue does not affect the LED, especially on a low setting, and it just takes a little drop. And in this case, I'm using a piece of basswood that I'll be connecting to the interior part. And I use a toothpick and just hold that in place for a second. And it doesn't take long for the hot glue to cool down enough to hold it in place. And then right here where that wire's at, I'll take the hot glue again and give it a little shot. And then I'll roll the hot glue along the wire. And again, this is just to hold it in place. And then the next thing I do, as soon as I get done knocking everything all over the place, because I picked up the wrong thing over here, and I set that off to the side. Now on the interior, I've drilled a hole for wire access, and I'm going to take the wires I'm going to be using, and I'm going to run them up through the hole and into the inside of the building itself. And yes, I know these are blue and white, but I'll mark them for positive and negative after the installation. And to make that a little easier, this is just simply Cat5 cable from an old computer cable. You open them up and there's like 6 to 8 wires inside. They're nicely twisted and they're pretty good. Now, I know I should be soldering these, but I don't have any solder right now, so in this case what I'll be doing is I'll be wrapping them up real good like this, and folding it back on itself to help hold it into place. And then I'm just going to use some electrician's tape and wrap it around nice and tight. Like so. And I'm going to have to pull these wires out of the building, and we'll get back to that in a minute. And then I do the same with the positive side and get that nice and tight, fold it onto itself. And once again, a little bit of electrical tape to hold everything in place. And I take the other end, open these up, and I just strip a little bit of the wire back, the case off. And then I use the blue and white stripe wire in this case as the positive, and the solid blue one for the negative. And I get the battery out again, and we test the light yet again, just to make sure that nothing has happened where I've taped it up. And here's the LED on the little board. And you can see it is operational. You can see it flashing on top of the battery there. And now we'll get the building back. And we'll run these wires back through. And then, like I said, I'm going to place this in between the two buildings here, and it's actually going to sit up right underneath here. So I'm going to get some of the Gorilla Glue, the gel. And we use the toothpick again, similar to what we've done in what I've shown you in other. I'm going to run some of this up underneath. And with any luck at all, I'll actually not have this stick to my fingers while I'm doing the install. Come on, you little booger. Get up in there. You know, I did a test of this earlier, and it went smooth as silk. But go figure, you go to shoot the video, and then you run into all kinds of problems. There we go. There it is. And we've got the LED up against and onto the glue. And once again, just to be sure, before I go any further, we'll test it again. And it is working on the inside. Ah, doggone wire slipped out. And you should be able to see that lighting up inside there. So now to hold this in place, so it doesn't rattle around and it's held down, a little shot of hot glue to hold this down. I put that big wad of black tape right onto the hot glue. And that'll hold it down so that it doesn't move and possibly while I'm doing the rest of the build, so that it doesn't wear out the wires and bend them up and get them to snap off. And this is a pretty easy process to do. I don't think you'll have too much of an issue with it. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer them. And I'll try to get some close-up shots of, I don't think I'm going to be able to. Well, maybe. I'll try to get some close-up shots and post those following the video of exactly what I did. So kind of stay tuned for that. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you have any questions, comments, criticisms, whatever, leave them in the comments. Send me a message directly. I'll be happy to answer. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.